God damn it.
What the fuck?
Oh! Holy shit! GS300's here. Oil's still good. No one fucked with it. Look how fucking mint this car is. Alright, we're gonna get the well, its battery's probably dead. It was dead for me. I'm gonna jump start it. I'm just making sure there's no damage. See, at least I saw this one beforehand. I didn't even notice it's got 4 new tires on it, and they're Michelin's besides. Time to start up the Lexus. Haven't heard this one run. I saw it at the auction lot, but the battery was dead. I guess I bring a little booster thing with me. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with this car. One owner, fluids look okay. Let's see what you do. Give her a minute. Wow, you have the original Lexus keychain. Pretty cool. Runs.
What?
Yep. No fuel.
Nice.
Check engine light. Is that motor knocking?
Slightly, I think.
Oh, I didn't think here, it's probably no power. Oh, that might be the security system actually. Putting in lit. Hear that beep? Because the battery died?
Wait, try to close the door and see if it doesn't.
Yeah, it might be a security system thing. Putting in like lip load. Maybe another minute.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's still bad. Something's up with it because the acceleration's very light. Let's go listen to the motor. Alright, so I've had Jaden here with me, helping me out with the Lexus. It sounds, I don't know if I recorded earlier when I started this thing, it's got a tap from the engine. It's pretty loud, or more of a tick, I'd say. Definitely not a knock. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe it needs a valve adjustment or just, the oil's pretty clean, so again, maybe it's a valve adjustment or something. I'm gonna do some more research into it tonight. I did a quick search, didn't really find much, but the oil's full, and again, it's not dirty, so I don't know what's up with that. I mean, it's not clean either, but I've seen a hell of a lot worse. So that's issue number one. The fact that this engine's ticking or tapping, or whatever you want to call it. Issue number two is with the throttle blade and the throttle body. How ironic, I have a throttle body problem with the stupid Saturn. I thought I get a break. And if you look in here, I'm pushing on this. The blade is not moving. When it gets all the way down, as if you're wide open throttle, the blade moves a tiny bit. So, and something sounds like it's loose or rattling in there or something. So maybe this needs a new throttle body, I'm assuming. But I'll start it up for you guys, let you hear it. You can tell me what you think about the tapping, ticking noise. Kind of sucks, you know, I've been getting a lot of shitty cars lately from the auction. I luck out on some. I mean, granted, this car is definitely a project, but rare as hell. Same thing with the M Sport over there, the silver one. So, you know, the biggest mistake I made on this car was, well, again, I might luck out with it. Might be something minor and stupid, and I got a super clean one owner 2JZ GS300. But you know, when I looked at this car at the lot, battery was dead, never heard it run. Checked the fluids, assumed it would be fine. Never assume, I guess. I should bring a little battery booster with me. That way I can jumpstart these cars, hear them run, because even though this may be a cheap, simple fix, a throttle body and maybe a valve adjustment or something, I still wouldn't have bought it. I don't need any more projects right now, and that's exactly what this car is. I need something I can either flip really quick, or again, I was thinking of giving this car to my girlfriend to drive and get rid of her EG, but this is nowhere near ready for that yet. So I'm gonna start it up for you guys real quick. You can hear how it runs. And oh, I got the key in my pocket. We did put a new battery in the, we accomplished something today. I put a battery in the key. Thinking that, because it's making this loud ringing noise too in here. I thought maybe it was a security system, but I don't know. I mean, all the accessories work quite nicely, actually. So check it out. First of all, that unbearable screeching. Probably the radio, but it's not asking me for a code. And it's working. So usually it'd lock you out with a code, I would assume. I don't know what the hell is beeping at me, but it's incredibly annoying. And then the ticking, obviously, of the engine. Again, I don't think that's a knock. Sounds like a tick to me, or a tap, but it's definitely not good, whatever it is. And you see, I press on the throttle, nothing happens to a wide open throttle. So, don't like the sound of that. Hoping this thing does not need a new engine, but bracing for the worst, hoping for the best. Oh, and there's one more issue this car is having, of course, right? Because I've been so lucky lately. The brakes don't seem to work too well. It's got excellent brake pads all around, but check this out. I put this thing in drive and it lurches forward, which, because watch, this thing barely stops, and the brake pedal is like, look at, the car is pulling away. I got my foot in the floor. And you can just, the lurches in the gear are extreme. I can tell it's not the transmission, it's the fact that the brakes are holding the car still. You wouldn't shift your car without your foot in the brake. It would obviously do the same thing. Well, that's what's happening here. So, I don't know what's up with this thing. Kind of disappointing. Otherwise, it seems okay, I guess. You know, all the accessories work and shit, but obviously the ticking engine's kind of a problem. I just finished washing very quickly the GS300, the problematic GS300, and I have to say, it may not run well, it may not stop well. However, I have never seen a more immaculate GS300 in my life, especially the black car, and for the paint to be this perfect still and not faded, not scratched. And it's not just because the car is wet. Believe me, you can see where it's drying. It's just as perfect. I can't get over the condition of this thing. Look at it. It's like brand new. So hopefully it's minor fixes to get this thing back on the road. If it's not, I think I have a great parts car here for somebody, or the whole shell. Maybe they've got a 2JZ motor, maybe they told their GS300, whatever it may be. I've never seen a more pristine. There's not a dent on this car. There's not a scratch on this car. I wish it would dry. I mean, it was just covered in dirt. I thought this car was dark blue at the auction. That's how dirty it was. It's a beautiful, deep, shining black car, and I can't get over it. So I'm really hoping we can fix this thing on the cheap. I'd love to give it to her, to Daly. If not, again, I think in terms of parts, if this engine's gone in this thing, or if I can't put an engine in it for cheap or fix it or whatever, at least it's immaculate. Immaculate. You can really tell it was a one-owner car. You can really tell it was garaged. And I think I would argue it was well maintained. I just don't know what happened at the end. And now it's making all kinds of funny noises. Between that interior and the exterior, this car is beautiful. So we'll see what happens. All right, so Alex and I, it's day 2 with the Lexus. I washed it again. I didn't think I was actually able to drive this thing. But here we are, we're out driving it, and it's even with the throttle body only opening at full throttle, but it does drives fairly well. That beeping is for the brakes. If I didn't mention that earlier in the video, I figured out the brake booster is bad. Get a remanufactured one for $200 or $300, or if you want to get risky, go to the junkyard, get one for 40 and throw that in relatively easily. So that doesn't concern me too much. The other issue is the throttle body, like I just said, which again, that's easy, $30 at the junkyard, change that out. And the motor's got that tick, but Alex has been doing his research, and guys in the forums are saying that's pretty normal for these. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a quart of transmission fluid in the oil and see if it makes it go away. But it drives very nice. Again, it is. I never started recording because I didn't think we'd ever go anywhere in this thing. I was just gonna move it around my yard, and I said, holy shit, I think we might be able to actually drive this and see if I put my foot down, it'll go. So anyway, I just took it out because I want to take some nice pictures of it looking all pretty. So I will show you guys when I do that. All right, so we're up here with the tapping Lexus. Tapping away still. You gotta admit, you'll never find a GS300 this clean. Cannot believe the condition of this car. It really shows that it's a one-owner car. It's in amazing condition. Really too bad about this the number of issues it has, which, you know, throttle body minor, brake booster annoying but minor, but the tick, I just can't get over that tick, and it seems like it's idling very high right now, which is again probably related to the throttle body, but cannot believe how nice. Never expected this car to be this clean underneath all that dirt. Well, hopefully it's the tick is something fixable on the cheap, and I can get this thing sorted out cheap enough. It'll have a beautiful GS300 that's in brand new condition. And I can't get over it. It's literally perfect. And it's like, it's not just on the outside, the inside too. Totally perfect car. So anyway, before this thing grenades or something, I'm gonna get it out of here. But I wanted to come up here and take some pictures of it while it's nice and clean if I do decide to sell it. So stay tuned for more Lexus videos, whether it's being trailered out of here or fixed up. Thanks for watching. All right, so I'm out in the old Euro-Benz, the W124 gray market car, and I realized I never made a conclusion to the Lexus video, so I'm gonna do that right now. Now, what happened with the car is I didn't really go any further on diagnosing the issues. With all the projects I have right now, I decided to go ahead and sell it. So, we're driving right by one of my good friend's houses who lives very close to me. He's a big car guy as well, and you can see, there it is. So I sold it to him, and what he wants to do with it is he wants to put in a Supra 2JZ with the turbo. He's built a lot of Japanese cars up that way before, since someone with just a big dream and no idea how to get there. He's an engineer, he's very handy. He was actually going to put the 2J Supra motor, and I think the only real difference, I know there's internal differences as well, but obviously the Supra 2J has the turbo. So anyway, he was going to go ahead and do that swap on his 4Runner, which you may have seen out there. And him and I were shooting the shit one night, talking, and I said, you know, I just got in this GS300, and it's got this tick in the motor, and it might be fixable, but, you know, it's not really something I want to deal with right now. I have way too many projects as it is, and this is just as much a business for me as it is a hobby. So I can't keep every effing project. I got to make money. So I said, listen, man, for you as my friend, and I put this up for sale before him and I talked, and I put it up over what I paid for it. I was in that car all said and done for like $1,200 with all the fees and delivery and everything like that. And the car itself is $800, and again, Copart, the fees are astronomical, then delivery. So I put the car up for $1,500, and I had a whole bunch of people interested. I only had it up that day, and I talked to him that night. I hadn't shown it to anybody yet. He goes, oh, let me come look at it. So he came and looked at the car. He fell in love with it. He goes, this thing is so clean. This is going to be such a cool swap to do. So he ended up buying the car off of me for my break even. This was a few weeks back. I've been kind of delayed on uploading videos. I've been very busy. But he does have, he got a really cheap remanufactured brake booster, and he got a throttle body very cheap as well online. He's gonna first swap those two parts, see how it drives out of that kind of limp mode the throttle body's in. Basically what's going on with that throttle body is those cars have electronic throttle body, but there's a drive-by-wire. It's kind of like a backup should you have any problems with the throttle body. It's as if Lexus knew. So anyway, he's gonna put that stuff in. It was cheap enough. Then he's gonna try to sort out what the tick is. He thinks it might be a valve adjustment as well. But if it ends up being something worse or just not worth fixing, then he'll go ahead and swap in the super turbo motor. He already has a buddy of his who has one. It's an automatic, so it's a pretty good price for it versus a manual. But it's a really low mileage, you know, JDM turbo 2JZ swap. So no matter what, he's got a plan for that car, and no matter what he does to it, he'll do good on it. He's not going to flip it, he's going to keep it. Right now he has a couple Corollas, you may have seen them out there. He's going to get rid of one of the Corollas and keep the GS300 as a daily. So in this situation, everybody won. I didn't lose any money. He got a pretty good deal on a real clean GS300, and again, for him, he's going to do all the work himself. He'll be to that car for way less than it's worth, be it he fixes it or he puts that super motor into it. So that's the story with the GS300. I'm sorry I didn't do more videos on it. That it didn't become a project, but you know, I think it was a cool car. I always thought those GS300s were real neat. They're definitely a fun, fast, you know, luxury sedan, but not really my taste. I'm more into the German stuff like this Mercedes here, or of course my domestic American cars. So that one's gone. I hope that's barbecue, not my Mercedes, or else I'm in big trouble. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more Copart stuff. I buy cars at Copart every week, either flip cars or cars for me. Matter of fact, I have a new one I picked up on Friday. I've already done the video of it. I'm just going to upload it a few days after this one, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.